I welcome all of you. To the session number 10. Um, we had the last two sessions, we had a discussion on measuring the unmeasurable from Jerry Lieberman. Then we discussed algorithm for healing by Dr. Poonam. We have now come to the combined session, mysticism across spiritual tradition. First part will be led by Dr. Radha Sharma ji. Second part will be led by Professor Anand Saxena and two other colleagues. Let me first tell something, introduce Dr. Radha Sharma ji. She is a professor, Dean Research in NDIM India. She's a PhD in psychology, and her research is in the area of emotional intelligence, executive burnout, spirituality, well-being, workplace dignity, responsible management, and sustainable development. She has got project support from various ministries in India as well as global bodies. So without taking much more time, I invite Dr. Radha Sharma ji to begin her presentation. Please go ahead, ma'am. Thank you for this.
Thank you, Dr. Aditya. Namaste. Divinity in me bows before divinity in you. Greetings to everyone participating in the MSR Research Colloquium. A few words about my spiritual journey. I'm Radha Sharma from India, an academic, but also a spiritual seeker. As we know, India is a cradle of spirituality, and I grew up in a family which was engaged in Lok Sangraha. The term Lok Sangraha appears in Bhagavad Gita, which focuses on Karma Yoga and collective well-being. My father was a member of Manav Seva Sangh, a human service group comprising of people from various faiths who got together every fortnight at our place and discussed various human and social issues. As a 10-year-old, I understood very little, but I still remember the secular prayer they used to start their meeting with. Also, my mother engaged in philanthropy and spiritual discourses. In retrospect, I feel this developed my inclination towards spirituality. I'm a psychologist cum behavior scientist and have been practicing and facilitating yoga and meditation. I've also got certification in sound healing. I've been teaching, researching, and publishing in the field of MSR over the years. And as Dr. Aditya mentioned, I have done projects supported by various organizations like WHO, Ministry of Health and Education in India, Polish Academy of Sciences, Humanistic Management Network in the field of spirituality. Or I have used spirituality in my research projects. I've also presented at AOM during MSR Symposium and PDWs. I would like to begin the session with a brief guided meditation. So request the participants to please sit in upright position, feet flat on the floor, palms open upwards, resting on your lap. You may please lower your gaze or close your eyes, and please bring your attention to the middle of the eyebrows. I'll play some sound and give you prompts. Take deep breath in. Hold for 2 seconds. Breathe out. Inhale. Breathe out. Inhale positivity. Exhale and let go of. Continue this rhythm for some time until you hear prompt. Now please rub your palms. Cover your eyes with the palms gently. And open your eyes softly. You may share your experience in the chat. I'll share my screen. And start the presentation.
Slide is visible. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So the title of my presentation is Sustained Happiness, Synthesizing Vedantic and Western Spiritual Perspectives on Well-Being. The flow of my session is as follows. The first thing, why this research? Happiness is one of the most cherished desires of all human beings. And this is a phenomenon-driven research adopting interpretive and positive paradigms, because happiness is a mystic, complex, and multifaceted phenomenon, and using only one research paradigm makes it difficult to arrive at a comprehensive understanding. Happiness is closely related to well-being. In the interest of time, I'll straight away go to the objectives of the study, which have been to analyze Western and Eastern perspectives on happiness, to identify the role of spirituality in human flourishing, to study the relationship between spiritual practices and personal well-being, and to study the role of spiritual intervention on executive burnout, and finally, to develop an integrated model of sustained happiness. The research is embedded in Western philosophy, positive psychology and well-being, and Vedantic philosophy and spiritual texts like Vedas, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Manusmriti, and so on. Now, when we look at happiness from the Western lens, we find it has been described by different philosophers differently, but with a lot of similarity. Aristotle links it to eudaimonia and human flourishing. Kant emphasizes reason, moral duty. Hobbes treats it as fulfillment of desire, and Bentham explains well-being as pleasure over pain. When we look at the literature in positive psychology and well-being, the significant work that we find there is that of Seligman and Ben Shahar. This figure that you see on the screen consolidates the elements of happiness and well-being as conceptualized by the positive psychologists I just mentioned above. You'll find similarity in the elements of happiness and well-being in the literature and the research done by them. So happiness comprises of positive emotions and pleasure, engagement that leads to flow, meaning and purpose in life, and first three elements are common with well-being as well, whereas two more elements have been added here, relationship and accomplishment. Ben Shahar has conceptualized happiness in the form of a quadrant based on behavioral attitude of people. According to him, hedonists are those who focus on the moment without caring for the ramifications in the future. They indulge in pleasure and crave for more. That leads to happiness. Whereas coming to the third category of people described by Ben Shahar, he says that there are people who postpone their present pleasure for a future reward. And once they reach that stage, then again they look for happiness in the future. And nihilists are those who look for reasons what went wrong. They are neither focusing on the present nor the future, but for them, they have no control over life. Now, coming to the Eastern spiritual foundations, my focus will be on Indian spiritual foundation because the literature here itself is very vast. And when we look at the spiritual traditions in the East, we find it is largely rooted in Vedantic philosophy. So Vedas are fundamentally metaphysical. They talk about spiritual awareness, transcendental knowledge, fundamental nature of reality, and Brahman is the universal spiritual reality. Now, in Bhagavad Gita and also in Upanishad, they talk about cycle of rebirth, implying that only the body perishes, but Atman, the consciousness, remains, remains in place, and it transmigrates from one body to another body based on karma. And this process continues until salvation is arrived at. And how is salvation arrived at? When the Atman realizes the state of pure consciousness, that is Anand or bliss. So when we summarize the Indian understanding of happiness, we'll find the words like calmness, compassion, spiritual vitality, and different texts, describe it differently. For example, Vedanta describes it as Sat, Chit, Anand, meaning thereby existence, consciousness, and bliss. And Indian traditions largely focus on non-materialistic things rather than materialistic things. And the Indian tradition says or supports that the more attachment people have to materialistic things and power, position, etc. in life, the more suffering they will go through, because there is tendency in human beings to compare themselves with others. And once this jealousy, comparison, competition continues, they do not have happiness, they have suffering or misery. And therefore, Bhagavad Gita suggests a concept called Sthiti Pragya, which means equanimity. And equanimity is that you sukhe dukhe samikrita labhalavo jayaje. That's what Krishna tells Arjun during Mahabharata, that on the battlefield, that neither one has to be extremely happy when there is a situation of elation, or not be extremely sad and depressed when there is misery. So this is the concept of Bhagavad Gita about equanimity. Now, Yogic philosophy talks about human being comprising of 5 layers or sheaths that they call. One is called Anandamay Kosh, which is physical, which is nurtured by nutrition, food, etc., etc. That is our physical part of the body. Then Pranamay Kosh, which is the next layer, which is focused on life force or breath. Then the next level is that of Manomay Kosh, which is about sensation, feelings, emotions, etc. The next level sheath is that of Vigyanmay Kosh, which deals with discernment, wisdom, and so on, dealing with intellectual aspects. And the last and the highest level of consciousness is called Anandamay Kosh, which is a state of bliss. And not everybody reaches that state of bliss. That's why in our life, we are mostly at all other levels. But if we can reach that level, then we'll have enlightenment all self-realization. So closely related to this is the concept of chakras. According to yogic philosophy, there are 7 centers of energy in our body. They are located in different parts, and there are different functions associated with that. So if there is blockage of energy in any of the chakras, the function related to that part of the chakra will be affected. In the interest of time, I'll go quickly. Mooladhara chakra, which is here, which is concerned with physical, body, well-being, security, etc. Swadhisthana chakra, located here, is concerned with sexuality and creativity. Manipur chakra is concerned with self-esteem and confidence. Anahat chakra is concerned with love, healing emotions. Vishuddha chakra deals with communication, oral skills, and Adi chakra is concerned with intellectual awareness and wisdom. And crown chakra, Sasta chakra, that is about spirituality, spiritual awareness, and consciousness, bliss, etc. So these koshas and chakras, they have interconnection. And because of this interconnection, they affect our energy flow and human existence, and they also influence our physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. So this is how our body functions as a result of interrelatedness of koshas and chakras. There's another concept that we have in Upanishads, Manusmriti, and Samhita is that of Purusharth, that human beings have got 4 aims of life: dharma, artha, kam, and moksha. Dharma is following ethics, values, righteousness. Artha is, earning wealth, resources, all those material things that we all work for or look for. And kam is related to happiness, which means fulfilling your desires and pleasures. Now, these are the 3 levels as normal individuals we all pursue all our life. So while pursuing our desire for happiness or pleasure, we are supposed to be ethical and value oriented. If we try to derive pleasure without caring for values and ethics, then we will be in difficulty. Similarly, we need money, we need earth, economic returns for whatever we do, but that also has to be, in accordance with dharma is not religion, dharma is ethics. So we have to follow these ethical norms when we are either earning or when we are either enjoying our life by fulfilling our desires and pleasures. Moksha is the liberation, which is the highest level. So now I come to the second part, which is the positivistic paradigm where I have used. This is based on a study in the corporate sector. 300 executives were drawn from manufacturing and service industry in India using a stratified random sampling technique. There were cases of burnout were identified with the help of a standardized scale on executive burnout, which was part of my project. And an intervention, a spiritual intervention, was given to them as a residential program. So pre and post intervention approach was adopted to study the effect of spiritual intervention on the symptoms of burnout. I used Patanjali's Yoga Sutra as the intervention, which we are familiar with, ethics, restraints, niyam, discipline, posture, yoga, breathing exercises, pranayam, pratyahar, sense withdrawal, dharana, concentration, and meditation. And after that, their symptoms were compared. So they were first assessed by a physician come cardiologist, and with the help of that standardized instrument, and these were the scores prior to the intervention, and these were the scores after the intervention. And when these were compared for statistical comparison, for statistical significance, it was found that all the results were significant at 0.01 level of significance. This is the diagrammatic presentation, bar diagram. The blue color indicates pre-intervention stage. The purple color shows post-intervention scores of these people who participated in this 5-day residential program. So in the interest of time, I'm going to summarize quickly. The present study first adopted interpretive paradigm to explore Western and Vedantic spiritual perspectives to highlight the complexities of happiness and well-being. And then, as I shared with you the results of the empirical study using positivistic paradigm in pre and post research design framework using Ashtanga Yoga and its effect on psychophysical symptoms of executive burnout identified with the help of a standardized and empirically validated scale. Based on both parts of the study, an integrated model of sustained happiness has been developed. So as you can see here, this is the Eastern perspective and this is the Western perspective based on the models that I have shared with you, based on the frameworks that I have shared with you. So dharma, as I said, this is one's duty, earth is economic activities, calm is the desired pleasure, and Seligman's concept of meaning, engagement, and pleasure, and also Ben Shahar's concept around these. We try to attain happiness in both the perspectives, but in the Eastern perspective, they also take into consideration the spiritual path, and that brings sustained happiness. And therefore, I've suggested, based on the study, that it is important to integrate both Eastern and Western perspectives for having sustained happiness, because this will be long-lasting, not transient, because we may enjoy things through sensory pleasure, but that will be, only temporary for a short time. So I would like to end with a mantra from one of the Upanishads, which says, Sarve bhanti sukhna, sarve santu niramya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kasyit dukh bhag bhavet. Implying, may all be happy, may all be free from illness, may all see what is auspicious, may no one suffer. So with this, I come to the end of the presentation. I hope I am within time. Thanks for your patience, and I welcome any questions or comments.
Excellent presentation, Professor Sharma. Any audience queries, questions?
Thank you, Dr. Agrawal.
Yeah, yeah, Catherine, please go ahead.
Hello there. So that's fascinating, and thank you for sharing that with us. What I'm wondering is a question I've heard asked others with some studies. Did you consider, in addition to the group of people that did that retreat, having a group that simply went on vacation or applied to go on it but didn't get to, and then do the pre-post on them? Did you consider that at all? Because I think that it's very interesting to wonder whether it's simply what we're doing, and I'll include myself as someone who offers comparable but different things, or whether simply pausing the pressures of everyday life and having more hope and breathing room, even without learning something new or doing movements and things, might help.
Yeah, thank you, Catherine. It's a very valuable remark that you have given. And I suppose what you are saying is absolutely true. But for proving it empirically and to make it scientific, I had to go through this methodology. Otherwise, it won't be considered validated. So for scientific rigor, I had to do this experiment. But yes, I agree with you. In fact, as a behavior scientist, I have been doing lots of retreats and lots of outbound programs for the executives from industry as part of my management development. And we used to do that. And it used to really make a tremendous difference in their stress levels. I've been conducting lots of workshops on stress and well-being. I'm also a sound healer. So I use variety of methods and also a psychologist. So I use, an appropriate method which will work. And I agree with you that going on a retreat would really be very relaxing to the people. But if we want to use it as a study and present, at the academy, probably people will ask for its scientific rigor
I
and
think
everything.
you may not have fully understood what I'm asking. I'm thinking of what you did do as a retreat. Perhaps you call it, I don't know, you call it something else. I'm saying if in addition to that group, you had a group that really was not given any of that learning, but still had something like a vacation. I know when we were going to do a study, we ended up not getting the funding because it was going to be very difficult to do. But the people I partnered with did have that, the group that were the subjects and then the groups who didn't participate in it, and they tested both pre and post.
Right.
That's what
Yes,
I'm
yes.
suggesting.
But since I was using medical, this was a project supported by WHO, and I had to have medical, assessment of these people pre and post. And I cannot, say just because people have gone on a holiday, because somebody may be hiking, somebody may be playing, somebody may be, doing something else, swimming. So how can we say that all these different things that people were using were actually leading to a reduction in the symptoms? So I totally agree with you what you're saying, but for a scientific study, I had to follow research design, which was positivistic and which had
No.
control of variables.
I
Thank
do
you.
understand you. I think I'm not making what I'm suggesting clear, but it's okay.
Thank you.
We have so there are two parts to this, and we are going to start with the second group. We have just one more minute if there are any queries, and so because there are three people in the second half of this, and therefore I want to maybe utilize all the time that we have. If there are any further queries, short remarks to Professor Radha Sharma ji, please. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank you so
everyone
much
for
for
your
your
patience.
time. And yeah, thank you. I'll now invite the second part. In the second part, which is on a very interesting topic, the discussion will be on the master, the guru, and the title is Guru, the Jewel on the Threshold of Knowing. Three people are going to present that. Professor Anand Saxena, Atolit, who is a PhD scholar, and Dr. Surbhi Dhingra, who is going to also present a dance of Guru consciousness. I'll just introduce them briefly. Professor Anand Saxena is a student of organizations. He studies their emergence, management, and governance. He's a seeker of wisdom and ethics in all walks of life, personal, organizational, and institutional. Atulit is a scholar of attention in organization. He extends the attention-based view of the firm to theorize how the experience of the guru may be enacted, mediated, and realized within organizational life. Dr. Surbhi is a business academician at heart. She is a practitioner of ethics of care as she counsels corporations on creating healthy workspaces. She has been a keen Odissi dancer and has designed Dance of Guru Consciousness. Very interesting session, and I really request all of you to please enjoy this session. Dr. Anand Saxena ji, over to you, please.
I hope I am audible and my screen is also visible.
Yes, you are audible. Screen is visible, yes.
And we'll do a sound check also with a view to...
Yes. Yes.
Sound is there?
Yes, yes. Sound is coming. Good.
Perfect. So here we go. Athlete, the first thing that stuck to us the moment the MSR notification came, an invitation to dwell at the threshold of knowing. So if Athlete, you could share the link to the story behind this paper, in the chat. That would be wonderful.
I'll do that. Yes.
And the word threshold actually stuck with us. And the first thing that came to one's mind was Tulsi's famous couplet, Ram Naam Mani Deep Dhar, Jiha Dehi Dwar, Tulsi Bhitar Bahir Jo Chahe Ujiyar. So tongue is the threshold of our existence. And Tulsi exhorts us to place the name of the Lord, name of the God, as the glowing jewel that will enlighten us both, from inside and outside. So, thirdly, I looked into the meaning of threshold from the perspective of the architecture, whether the temple architecture or the home architecture. So the issue was whether there is an imperative of privacy, because threshold separates the internal from the external, or there is an embracing to the kutumbakam or the family. MSR is a kutumbakam, MSR is a family. So welcome to this presentation. And if you look at the traditions in India, you can see three visuals. One is the floral rangoli that is usually done around Onam time in Kerala, and the rice powder rangoli, which is ball, and the mango leaf and marigold festoons, or hangings, as you call them. So welcoming. So, the issue of privacy, therefore, and the welcoming, where is the balance? That is an important aspect. And I have deliberately, therefore, included the figure of the temple in my home, as you can see on the right-hand quadrant, southeastern quadrant. This is the temple in my home. So I welcome you to my home, and I welcome you to my heart, and to our country. Now, so this is our first experiential exercise. By and large, whether Andrew's work or Schrader's work, it captures the essence of this exercise. Yet, I would like you to dwell on this exercise, on the just a minute. On the background of Tampura, don't look at the screen. If you close your eyes, I will read the screen for you. Reflect upon the lived experience of utmost ecstasy, or danger or greed, or anything in between, then you are utterly experiencing. You desperately needed someone. Yes, I really love someone. Yet, your however was someone else. Then, frequent, good. Who was that? A person, a human, a thing, or a person. For how long did you, when I say he, a gender neutral, stay? Does it travel you and holds you back and relieves you just in time? You experience presence at this moment. So if your answer to these questions, to any of these questions, is yes, you can drop a message on screen. So if your answer to any of these questions is affirmative, is in yes, you can just drop a message on the screen. Since I am looking at my presentation, I can't see the screen. Atulit, I'm sure you can look at the messages or the.
Yes.
Yeah, good. So, and more importantly, if you have answered these questions in affirmative, you are the chosen one for the revelation of Guru in your life. Whether Radhaji's experience, the empirical work, or even the issue Catherine was, raising, these interventions happen in the presence of Guru. Guru is making an intervention. Probably he is the biggest influencer in our life, the visible, the invisible. So that justifies or provides the primary rationale for our presentation as Guru, as on the threshold of our, So the anything, any person, can be a guru. So this humility we can learn from anyone. MSR is a great learning platform, and this humility is actually a virtue in the path of knowing. However, when it is the issue of guru, it is not about that humility or vinamrata. It is more importantly of ananyata, no one elseness. So that gravitas of guru is ultimately the source of faith. Dhyana moolam gurur murti, puja moolam guru padam, mantra moolam gurur vakyam, mukti moolam guru kripa. So whatever experiences of mysticism that happen to us, they happen through the presence of Guru. So we have just sampled two of the explanations given by Schrader in the call by MSR for this paper. So Schrader talks about neuroticism, about the revelatory or hidden or otherwise nature of inaccessibility of knowledge. So we say that the Guru's presence lies beyond threshold of sensory perception, and then the transience, the transient experience is all about that it happens initially as an ahetuki kripa, or what you call a grace to the non-deserving or the non-seeker. I may not be seeking a guru, yet the guru does a hetuki kripa and dawns on our existence, on our life. And this ahetuki kripa might glimmer. In psychology, they use the word trigger. So I thought I will choose glimmer, a yearning for his presence. So therefore, the meaning of guru in terms of movement from the darkness to the light raises the question: what is the darkness under question, and what is the light? And of course, ma'am has already talked about the levels of consciousness, and we all are trapped in the blind spots. So the presence of Guru enables us to make a transition from the blind spot to the bright spot. And so therefore, and this movement happens when the Guru, as if manifests to us the meaning of the scriptures and our the sanskaras, and generates a community of seekers like the MSR, and of course the name, the divine name. So the threshold that we talked about of the consciousness, while we were discussing, we thought of two thresholds. One which links the external to the internal, and the other that relates the internal to the eternal. And there I will almost rest my discussion, and Atul will take up. I think Catherine raised the issue of, and a prior session also talked about the research methodologies and pedagogies. We academicians have had a lot of biased on empiricism, whereas experience, to my mind, is as powerful a means of knowing as empirical or empiricism. So here is a short quiz before we take off further. And we have to discover the guru. There are, five elements. There is one that you might want to say. This is a French choreographer, and dancer, and artist, demonstrating in his own sweet way. That is the हर कदम पर गिरे मगर स्वीकार कैसे Guru saves us. What is that resilience from the trials and tribulations of So it's because we are all teachers, so it's a quiz time. So we have to discover the guru in these, five visuals. It would be great if you can key in, your messages straight away. But of course, there's no mystery, but there's a story that builds around, these visuals that I would very shortly and quickly capture. My co-presenters have got more valuable inputs to provide to this presentation. The first image is very clear that here the Lord Krishna is the guru and Arjuna is the recipient or the disciple who is receiving the knowledge. In the second visual, where we showed the thresholds, the blue and the red lines respectively reflect to the movement of Shvas, the breathing and the blood circulation. So the guru is guru vests, he dwells in our breath and in our bloodstream. And the third one is the title itself. You might say guru is written, there is a circle, there's an aura. But I think beyond that, you look at the three-dimensionality, the graph. The guru is transcendental, the guru is transtemporal, and the guru is transpersonal. So that tridimensionality of the guru is probably what we wanted to highlight. And the fourth, again, a very famed story about a person complaining to God or to Guru that when I was in distress, where were you? He said, when time was good, I was walking with you, but when the difficult times came, I lifted you in my lap. So I took you along. And in the final, Yuan's, the visual that we saw just now, Guru comes in as a mat, what you call trampoline, and Guru helps us bounce back from the depression, from the sufferings of our lives. I am not able to navigate. My presentation is not moving now. Yeah. So ma'am has already talked about this. If I don't know if we have the time to run that world energy scale questionnaire. If our tech team please could share the or Atul could share the link to the 1 minute survey, that would be a wonderful thing to do, which we will come back to. So, and what we have done is, like ma'am, we have integrated in a way this model of the energy scale given by Hawkins with the yogic scale, which takes us from the Jagrita to the Turiya Sthiti, and we are in the process of developing this scale even further. And you can see that the presence of Guru is a sure pathway from negative consciousness to the enlightened consciousness, the point that we are trying to make here. I'm sure the survey would have been circulated, and you would have taken the survey. We'll be showing the results also in the due course of the presentation. And of course, as this happens, enjoy. As you take the survey, you may enjoy this song. Atul, you please give me a time prompt. Verbally, how much time we have?
Yeah, so I've shared the survey link on the chat.
And how much time we have? We have.
How much time we have? We have 10 minutes.
15 minutes.
Perfect. I love this piece. I think the results of the survey
Anand, you have
would be there.
you have 15 minutes. We can extend it by 5 minutes.
Can we share the results of the survey in case these are there? No, Hawkins found that 2/3 of the world is stuck in the lower level of consciousness. And he did some radio frequency, tests. We are in the process of developing a questionnaire-based scale on that, integrating our own, yogic scale of consciousness. And now the question is how, if 2/3 of the world, more than 2/3 of the world is stuck in the lower level of consciousness, how is the world running? And the argument is that the one person, in the previous, session, Poonam said, even if you can change one person, so even if there's one person with a higher level of consciousness, he can or she can transform a million. Now that is the kind of argument that Poonam made, and that is the kind of argument Hawkins made. And Hawkins particularly referred to role of Gandhi, who led a million, to the path of freedom through truth and non-violence. And our survey results, I don't know whether we can show these quickly, would have shown a shift in the attention and attention-based view of the form Atulit specializes in. And I hand over the presentation to Atulit and Surbhi from now onwards.
Hello everyone. I am Adulit. I will tell you a short story behind what we are covering, and I will try to keep it as crisp as possible. So, see, I'm sure that all of well, most of the scholars here would have heard of Ocasio. Ocasio in '97 published a paper, and that paper was the attention-based view towards an attention-based view of the firm, in which he highlighted that attention is a parameter in an organization that travels through channels that is allocated. Now, there was never a discussion that was raised in the scholarly community about how attention itself can be a variable. Whether attention, now there was a lot of discussion on the directionality of attention. There was a lot of discussion on the structures of attention, how attention travels in an organization, how resources are allocated, attention resources are allocated. But there was never really any discussion on how attention itself could transform. So one could think in terms of a metaphor of attention as the water in which a fish, which is you, swims. That is what we are trying to theorize with this presentation, with this paper, that it is the guru mechanism. It is under the influence of a guru, which brings in this transformation in attention, which Anand sir talked about in great detail. So I will ask Anand sir to proceed to the next slide so that Surbhi ma'am can, yeah.
Yeah, and incidentally, you can see the image on the left is a Mintzberg's organizational configuration. So you can see the resemblance,
Yeah. So I would like you to reflect upon the corporate or business life as it is and type in the words in the Zoom chat that may occur to you. So do not drop these words here. Drop the words at the end of the reverse count. I'm going to start counting now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You may drop your reflection in the chat at any moment now.
Kya words are?
Interesting. So somebody writes rushed, pushy, competitive. Somebody writes survival, mad race, politics, rat race. Yeah.
Surbhi, now you take over, please.
So, Namaskaram. Continuing with what we are talking about with Guru as the right jewel who's going to take us in the right direction. If Professor Newberg also did some more scans while somebody performed a classical dance, probably we'll have the same results as somebody who was in a meditative state. The important thing that we were talking about was moving from external to internal to eternal. So when you look, if you can see my background, we've tried to give you the feeling of the external. I hope you can see the settings here with the Guru, just as Dr. Anand took us into the glimpse of his own temple in his house. What we were thinking about and talking here is about the Guru. So let's just take this one little the prayer that we have, yeah, and we're talking of the three major Hindu gods, Almighty, the Guru Brahma, the Guru Vishnu, and the Guru Maheshwara. If we see how we depict them in classical dance, here is how it goes. We say Guru Brahma. Guru Brahma is, let me just show the pictures once, sir. When we say the Guru Brahma, we're talking of the Guru of knowledge. So we're talking of the ultimate knowledge that the Creator, Guru Brahma, has given us. We then talk of Guru Vishnu. Guru Vishnu is the preserver. As a preserver, he takes us through the various avatars that he has taken at times when the earth was in distress and needed help. So whether it is the representation through the conch shell, which we can represent in various ways. For example, when we do the mudras, we will represent a conch shell like this, or we can talk of the Sudarshan Chakra, or we can also talk of the lotus feet. This is how we represent Vishnu. And then we talk of Maheshwara, Maha, the great Ish, the God. And we can talk and represent Maheshwara as either the flow of the Ganges, or we can talk from the point of view of the Maheshwara. Brahma. Let's look at this and feel it for a moment.
So
I
I'm sure you would have experienced a shift in your attention, Atulit.
So everything that you have just witnessed, it is pointing towards a certain something, and that is this quality, this attention variable now that we are talking about, this attention variable we are theorizing using the Guru mechanism is something that is not something that cannot be practiced, because practice only means that there is refinement of attention. We are talking of transformation, and that can only happen throh Aheturupa, about which Anand sir, I think, would talk about in the next slide or so. But immerse yourself in the Odyssey of cosmic sound and Odyssey dance again, and now experience the shift in attention on the corporate life as it should be. Type in the words in the Zoom chat that occur to you. And again, I'm going to start reverse counting. Let's see if there is a change in attention. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You may drop a text in the chat. You can be genuine about, yes, you can be genuine about your experience, because this is an experiential exercise. An experience is subjective.
Yeah, right.
Someone has written that they are mesmerized. Poonam Sethi, Professor Poonam Sethi, I think. She also writes that it was a divine experience for her.
So some shift has taken place. And so therefore, presence of Guru can really help us transform our worldview. Whether we look at the world as a Ranabhumi or a battleground, or we look at it as a Rangabhumi or a or a theater of love. That is what Guru, in his ultraliminal, liminal, and subliminal level, does to us. This is our final slide in utmost reference to and reverence to the gurus of the corporate world. And thank you so much. And sir, I hope we have been in time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
I'm not able to stop share. I'm trying. Did I stop share?
Yes,
Yes,
Edward.
yes. We have done from it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Great. Thank you.
So we may spend maybe just 5 minutes, the participants, because the next session we have starts after 90 minutes, but nevertheless we have to do certain technical adjustments. Daniel also needs some rest. He has been here continuously. After this session, basically, we are going to have a restart of Zoom meeting because there is some restriction, and so the Zoom meeting will be closed, but immediately it will be opened again, and so you can log in. So now, I would invite the participants to share their, how they felt, and then we may perhaps spend the next 5 minutes on that, and then I will inform you about the next 3 sessions. Anyway. Yeah, Daniel has mentioned that. Those who want to join, you have to click exactly the same link. Same Zoom link remains unchanged. But anyone, I think this is if I may start about it is easily one of the very, amazingly planned, and a lot of effort has been gone in this particular presentation, including a dance, the video, and I can, so amazingly brilliant. The theorization is also quite good. Atulit, good work.
Thank you.
And Anandji, I want to retain the same passion as you. So it was, and Radha ji set the foundation in the beginning. So it was a very, broad session. Any comment? I saw Barbara, she's always influenced by music. Catherine, Barbara, if you'd like to add anything, otherwise, it's okay. Okay, if you're just in the moment, that is also okay.
Actually, it's an immersive thing, so it takes a while to come out of.
Yes, yes.
So I would just say thank you so much for inviting us into your culture and welcoming us. Thank you.
I thank MSR for this great session and combining both the knowledge and the experience. I think this was very beautifully done. I thank all the organizers and Dr. Aditya for facilitating this session so beautifully.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was a great,
Yes, thank you, Pram.
humbling experience. Very, very, more than learning, it was the experience. And, I'm humbled by the effort that you guys put in. Thank you so much. Very insightful. And this is what MSR is all about. Not only theory, but also a glimpse. It was just a glimpse in around an hour, less than an hour probably, because I also took some time. So less than an hour, 4 of you presented some very insightful and experiential ideas. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pram. Thank you.
So once again, so just let me tell you about the next 3 sessions. Session 11, just after this, it will be after about 90 minutes by Nicola Robbins. It will be crossing the threshold, divination, uncertainty, and decision making in entangled system. Then we will have session 12, which is plenary 2, the second plenary, which is about sacred and visionary leadership in First People in Australia. Very different kind of a plenary. We'll be talking about the indigenous people and the some of those value systems. Session 13 will be taken by Ekaterina. She will be discussing about the researchers in a journey, self and graced knowing. So, I request those of you who can continue, please join, please continue, and thank you so much. We are so thankful that you were able to join, and thank you so much to the for this presentation, Dr. Radhika Sharma ji, Atul, Anand Saxena ji, and Surbhi ma'am. Thank you for your time and effort once again. Namaskar.